Sure.
Whatever weight division they want me to make.
Aaron Cantu, FightHype.com, here with Coach Ronnie Shields. Coach, what is your assessment of Montiel as an opponent, and what are your expectations of Jamal in this fight?
Well, I think as an opponent, Montiel, he's tall, strong fighter, so we can't take him lightly. He got 22 knockouts, and only 4 defeats. But, anytime you got a young, hungry fighter, you have to take that very serious. Jamal been in that position, so he understands what it's like to fight for the world title.
And how's the motivation in Jamal? Does he still have that same consistent motivation he's had throughout his career? He never falters in that aspect?
I've never had a problem with trying to motivate him to fight somebody. Never, ever. He's always ready to go.
What did you think of Jamal's last performance against a game Derevchenko? Was it his most complete performance to date?
Well, I don't think it was his most complete. I think, he's had a couple other fights that probably was better. But at the same time, I think a lot of people were surprised how easy Jamal beat him. Because, he was the #1 contender. He was the mandatory defense. So he gave Triple G problems. He gave Danny Jacobs problems. And Jamal beat him like he wasn't even there. So, look, it is what it is. Different styles make different fights.
What is your sentiments about Jamal and him? Like, he hasn't really landed that signature fight against a Triple G or some of those bigger names.
Well, the thing about it is, I always tell Jamal, patience. We got to be patient. He's still a young guy. He's not an older guy. He's not looking to end his career. So we got plenty of time, for the big fights to come.
Most definitely. Do you feel like Triple G is avoiding him?
Well, I can't say he's avoiding him. I don't know. That's just something that, we just got to wait and see if it'll happen. But we're not sitting around waiting on Triple G. If the Canelo fight comes, definitely we're going to take that.
And what did you make of Canelo's last performance a couple weekends ago? What did you think about it?
I thought it was a solid performance, I thought it was very, very competitive for the first 4 or 5 rounds. And Canelo started taking over a little bit. Then he landed the one shot that made the difference in the fight.
Stylistically, how do you feel Jamal matches up against Canelo?
I think he matches up great. Bigger guy than Canelo ever fought, stronger guy probably than Canelo ever fought, and probably the best boxer that Canelo ever fought.
In your opinion, what would it take to beat Canelo? Would Jamal's jab be the key in that fight?
Absolutely. Jamal's jab is the key to every fight that he fights. And that's the thing that we're not shy to tell people. Jamal's jab is the key to it all. And you know what? They have to figure out how to get away from that jab.
Definitely. And what do you make of Andrade trying to get the Canelo fight? I mean, he's a guy who's also searching for a big fight. Would you want to see that fight against him and Jamal?
Absolutely not. The thing about it is with Andrade is he had an opportunity to fight Jamel when he was champion, and he denied Jamel that.
He pulled out of the fight.
He pulled out of the fight for nothing. Not because of injury, but because he wanted to be with Jay-Z. And Jay-Z told him don't take the fight. You know what? That's, now they decided that they'll never ever that'll make any kind of money with them.
So you wouldn't even put any energy or effort into trying to make that fight? Wow,
not
okay. Last thing, couple off topics. I just wanted to touch on your fighter, Efe Apochi, who's rising in the ranks still, winning and very strong his last performance. Just reflect on his last performance, Efe.
Oh man, Efe Apochi, man, I think he's probably the best cruiserweight in the world. I might be biased as a trainer saying that, but at the same time, I just go by what I know about the fighter that I train. And, really, a lot of people thought he was going to have trouble in this last fight, but right from the very beginning, you saw what he was made of. And this kid works so hard, for everything that he gets. And I'm just happy that now he's the #1 contender in the WBA. And so all we're doing now is waiting on the WBA champion to get his other fight out of the way, and then Tobar is the mandatory. They can't avoid it. Got to fight it.
So his championship title is relatively in the near future, you're saying?
Absolutely.
Interesting. Okay, I got to ask you about a potential fight between Efe Apochi and I'm not sure if you're familiar with the fighter Brandon Glanton.
I never heard of him. I mean, I never seen him before, but I saw something on the internet about this guy. I mean, I don't know who he is. You know.
He's another strong cruiserweight who's under the radar, has got a good knockout streak, and his style would mesh great against FA, and that's a fight that would be a big fight down the road.
Well, absolutely. You know, again, he got to fight his way into being a contender like Apoche did. If Apoche is you know, if he gets his title shot and wins the title, hey, maybe that could be a fight that can happen down the line.
Coach, what was your reaction to the Ruiz Areola fight? Areola put Ruiz down. We thought it was going to be the other way around.
Well, you know, I thought it was a good fight, actually. You know, and I know Chris because I trained him before.
Okay.
And I knew that Chris has the power to drop him. I think Ruiz, he's lost too much weight. I mean, I really do. That's just my opinion. I think he was a better fighter when he was a big fat guy. You know, now he's trying to lose weight. But, you know, look, a fighter goes with how he feels. And he feels that he's better, smaller. God bless him.
What did you make of Areola being able to show some defense in his... I mean, he hasn't shown that his whole career. He made some defensive adjustments in that fight. Wasn't hurt at all.
Look, Joe Goosen did a good job in training Chris. Chris is, you know, obviously, you know, he's doing a lot better now because Joe Goosen is in his corner. Joe, you know, is a great defensive trainer. You know, so he knows the ins and outs of the sport also. And he's helping Chris to be the fighter that he is today.
Last question, just a prediction on Devin Haney versus Jorge Linares. How do you see that fight playing out?
You know, Linares is kind of on the older side, but I think Haney might be a little bit too strong, too young, and I think this is Haney's time.
Coach, who do you think is the best lightweight in the world of Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Lomachenko?
I think Teofimo Lopez is the best fighter.
Really?
And lightweight right now. You know, this kid, he showed a lot in his last fight, you know, against Lomachenko.
Lomachenko, yeah.
He showed he wasn't afraid to do anything. He did everything he was supposed to do, and he came out on top.
Coach, but don't you think Devin Haney's style would give him problems just based on his defensive skills?
Absolutely, but you know, but with the confidence now that Teofimo has right now, I don't know. I think it's a good fight, but I still have to go with Teofimo.
Appreciate you, Coach.
All right.
God bless. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate you.